Shall we stab him as he sleeps?
No, then he'll say 'twas done cowardly when he wakes.
When he wakes, why fool, he shall never wake till the judgment day.
Why, then he will say we stabbed him sleeping.
Ooh, the urging of that word, judgment, hath bred a kind of remorse in me.
What, art thou afraid?
Not to kill him, having warrant for it, but to be damned for killing him, from which no warrants can defend us.
I thought thou hast been resolute.
So I am. To let him live.
Back to the Duke of Gloucester. Tell him so.
I pray thee stay a while. I hope my holy humour will change. 'Twas wont to hold me, but while would tell 20.
How dost thou feel thyself now?
Faith, some certain dregs of conscience are yet within me.
Remember our reward when the deed is done?
Zounds! He dies. I had forgot the reward.
Where is thy conscience now?
In the Duke of Gloucester's purse.
So when he opens his purse to give us our reward, thy conscience flies out?
Let it go, let it go. This you or none will entertain it.
How if it come to thee again?
I'll not meddle with it. It is a dangerous thing. It makes a man a coward. A man cannot steal, but it accuseth him. He cannot swear, but it checks him. He cannot lie with his neighbor's wife, but it detects him. 'Tis a blushing, shamefast spirit that mutinies in a man's bosom. It fills one full of obstacles. It made me once restore a purse of gold that I found. Every man that means to live well endeavors to trust to himself and to live without it.
Yeah. Sounds. It is even now at my elbow, persuading me not to kill the Duke.
Take the devil in thy mind and relieve him not. He would insinuate with thee, but to make thee sigh.
Tut, I'm strong-framed. He cannot prevail with me. I warrant thee.
Spoke like a tale fellow that respects his reputation. Come, shall we eat of this gear?
Take him over the custard with the hilt of thy sword, and then we'll chop him in the mumsy butt in the next room.
Oh, excellent device! Make a sop of him!
Hark, he stirs. Shall I strike?
No! First, let's reason with him.
Where art thou, keeper? Give me a cup of wine.
You shall have wine enough, my lord. Anon.
In God's name, what art thou?
A man, as you are.
But not as I am, royal.
Not as I am, loyal.
Thy voice is thunder, but thy looks are humble.
My voice the king's, my looks mine own.
How darkly and how deadly thou dost speak. Your eyes do menace me. Why look you pale? Who sent you hither? Wherefore do you come?
To
murder me? You scarcely have the heart to tell me so, and therefore cannot have the heart to do it. Wherein, my friend, have I offended you?
Offended us you have not, but the king.
I shall be reconciled to him again.
Never, my lord. Therefore, prepare to die.
Are you called forth out from a world of men to slay the innocent? What is my offense? Where are the evidence that do accuse me? The deed you undertake is damnable.
What we do upon command.
And he that commanded was the king.
Erroneous vassal. The great King of kings hath in the table of his law commanded that thou shalt do no murder. And wilt thou then spurn at his edict and fulfill a man's? Heed, for he holds vengeance in his hands to hurl upon their heads that break his law.
And that same vengeance doth he hurl on thee, for false forswearing and for murder too.
And like a traitor to the name of God, thou didst break that vow, and with a treacherous blade unrip the bowels of sovereign son, whom thou wert sworn to cherish and offend. How canst thou urge God's dreadful law to us, when thou hast broken it in such dear degree?
Alas, for whose sake did I that ill deed? For Edward, for my brother, for his sake. Why, sir, if you love my brother, hate not me. I am his brother, and I love him well. If you be hired for me, go back again, and I will send you to my brother Gloucester, who shall reward you better for my life than Edward will for tidings of my death.
You are deceived. Your brother Gloucester hates you.
Not be. For when I parted with him, he hugged me in his arms and swore with sobs that he would labor my delivery.
Why, so he doth. Now he delivers thee from this world's thraldom to the joys of heaven.
Make peace with God, my lord, for you must die.
And art thou yet to thine own soul so blind that thou wilt war with God by murdering me?
What shall we do?
Relent and save your soul.
Relent?
'Tis cowardly.
Not to relent is beastly, savage, devilish. Which of you, if you were a prince's son, being pent from liberty as I am now, if such a murderer as yourself came to you, would not you entreat for life? Friend, I spy some pity in thy looks. Oh, if thine eye be not a flatterer, come thou on my side, and entreat for me, as you would beg were you in my distress. Begging prince, what beggar pities not?
Look behind you, my lord.
Take that, and that, if all this will do not. I drown you in the Malmsey butt within.
A bloody deed and desperately dispatched. How fain like Pilate would I wash my hands of this most grievous guilty murder done.
How now? What means thou? That thou helpst me not? By heavens, the Duke shall know how slack thou art.
I would he knew that I had saved his brother. Take thou the fee, and tell him what I say, for I repent me that the Duke is slain.
So do I not. Go, coward, as thou art. Now I must hide his body in some hole, until the Duke take order for his burial. And when I have my meed, I must away. For this will out, and here I must not stay.
Servant, come. I'm ready now. Approach, my Ariel, come.
All hail, great master, grave sir, hail. I come to answer thy best pleasure, that to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the curled clouds, thy strong bidding task, Ariel in all his quality.
Hast thou, spirit, performed to point the tempest I bade thee?
Oh, to every article. I boarded the king's ship. Now on the deck, the waist, in every cabin. Oh, the dreadful thunderclaps, more momentary than sight outrunning were not. The fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring the most mighty Neptune seemed to be sage and make his bold waves tremble. Yea, his dread trident shake.
My brave spirit, who was so kind, so firm that this coil would not infect his reason.
Not a soul, but felt a fever of the mad and played some tricks of desperation.
All?
But mariners plunged in the foaming brine and quit the vessel.
Why, that's my spirit. But was this not nigh shore?
Close by, my master.
But are they, Ariel, safe?
Not a hair perished. On their sincere garments, not a blemish, but fresher than before. And, as thou badest me and the troops, I have dispersed them about the isle.
Of the king's ship, the mariners say how thou hast disposed in all the rest of the fleet.
Safely in the harbor is the king's ship. The mariners all under hatches, stowed, who, with a charm, joined to their suffered labor, I have left to sleep.
Ariel, thy charge exactly is performed. Oh, but there's more work.
Is there more toil, since thou dost give me pains? Let me remember what thou hast promised, which is not yet performed me.
How now, moody? What is't thou canst demand?
My liberty.
Before the time be out, no more.
I perceive. Remember, I have done thee worthy service, told thee no lies, made thee no mistakings, served without a grudge or grumblings, which was hard. Thou didst promise to bait me a full year.
Dost thou forget from what a torment I did free thee?
No.
Thou dost, and think'st it much to tread the ooze of the salt deep, to run upon the sharp wind of the north, to do me business in the veins of the earth when it is caked with frost.
Do not, sir.
Thou liest, malignant thing. Hast thou forgot the foul witch Sycorax, who, with age and envy, was grown into a hoop? Hast thou forgot her?
No, sir.
This blue-eyed hag was hither brought with child, and here was left by the sailors. Thou, my slave, as thou reportest thyself, wast then her servant, and, for thou wast a spirit too delicate to act her earthly and abhorred commands, refusing her grand hests, she did confine thee, by help of her more potent ministers, and her most unmitigable rage, into a cloven pine, within which rift imprisoned thou didst painfully remain a dozen years, within which space she died and left thee there, where thou didst vent thy groans as fast as windmills strike. Then was this island, save for the sun that she did litter here, a freckled whelp hag-born, not honored with a human shape.
Yeah, Caliban, her son.
Dull thing, I say so, he that Caliban whom I now keep in service. Thou best knowest what torment I did find thee in. Thy groans did make wolves howl, and penetrate the breasts of ever-angry bears. It was a torment to lay upon the damned, which Sycorax could not again undo. It was mine art, when I arrived and heard thee, that made gape the pine and let thee out.
I thank thee, master. I thank thee so.
If thou more murmurst, I will rend an oak, and peg thee in his knotty entrails, till thou hast held away 12 winters.
Pardon, master. I will be correspondent to any command, and do my steering gently.
Do so. And after 2 days, I will discharge thee.
2 days. That's my noble master. What shall I do? Say what? What shall I do?
Go, make thyself like a nymph of the sea, be subject to no sight but thine and mine, invisible to every eyeball else. Go take this shape, and hither come in it. Go hence with diligence. What, slave, Caliban, thou earth thou? Speak.
There's wood enough within.
Come forth, I say, there's other business for thee. Thou poisonous slave, got by the devil himself upon thy wicked dam. Come forth.
As wicked do, as ere my mother brushes raven's feather from the hose on bed, dropping you both like cesspool on ye, and mercy all over.
For this be sure, tonight thou shalt have cramps, side stitches that shall pen thy breath up. Urchins shall, for that vast of night that they may work, all exercise on thee. Thou shalt be pinched as thick as honeycomb, each pinch more stinging than bees that made 'em.
I must eat my dinner. This island's mine, by Sycorax my mother, which thou takes from me. When those came first, those struckest me, and madest much of me. Let us give me waters with berries in it, and teach me how to name the vigor light, and how the lights that burn by day and night. I show thee all the quality and that burn by day and night, and then I love thee. The fresh springs, burn bits, tight pool, pure in place and fertile. Curse be that I did so, all the charms of Sycorax, toads, beetles, bats, lighten you, for I'm all the subjects that you have. And this, which first was mine own king, I hear you stay me in this hard walk, while you do keep from me the rest of the island.
Thou most lying slave, whom stripes may move, not kindness. I have used thee, filth as thou art, with human kindness, and lodged thee in mine own cell, till thou didst seek to violate the honor of my child.
When it had been done, thou didn't prevent me, I'd peopled Osa's island with Calibans.
Abhorred slave, which any print of goodness wilt not take, being capable of all ill. I pitied thee, took pains to make thee speak, taught thee each hour one thing or another, when thou didst not, savage, know thine own meaning, but wouldst gabble like a thing most brutish. I endowed thy purposes, with words that made them known.
You taught me language, and my pocket's on his. I know how to curse the red plague. Rid you for learning me your language.
Hagseed, hence! Fetch us in fuel, and be quick. Thou art best to answer other business. Shruggest thou malice? If thou neglect'st or dost unwillingly what I command, I'll rack thee with old cramps, fill all thy bones with aches, make thee roar that beasts shall tremble at thy din.
No, pray thee. I must obey his art to such power. It will control my damned God and make a vassal of him.
Success, and I have learned by the perfectest reports they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air into which they vanished. Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me, and referred me to the coming on of time with Hail, King that shalt be! This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightst not lose the dues of rejoicing, by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. Glooms thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the merest way. Thou wouldst be great, art not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. What thou wouldst highly, that wouldst thou holily. Wouldst not play false, and yet wouldst wrongly win. Thou'dst have great gloms, that which cries, thus thou must do if thou have it, and that which rather thou dost fear to do than wishest should be undone. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have thee crowned with all. What is your tidings?
The king comes here tonight.
Thou'rt mad to say it. Is not thy master with him, who wert so would have informed for preparation?
So please you, it is true, our Thane is coming. And one of my fellows had the speed of him, who, almost dead for breath, had scarcely more than would make up his message.
Give him tending, he brings great news. The raven in himself is a horse that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts. Unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe-top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood, stop up the access and passages to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. come to my woman's breasts, and take my milk for gall. You murdering ministers, wherever in your sightless substances, you wait on nature's mischief. Come, thick night, and pall thee in the dullest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the curtain of the dark to cry, hold, hold. Plums thou art, and God, or greater than both, by the all-hail hereafter. Thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant.
Are you good men and true?
Yeah, or else they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
Nay, that were punishment too good for them, if they should have any allegiance in them, being chosen for the prince's watch.
Well, give them the charge, neighbor Dogberry.
First, who think you the most desertless man to be constable?
George Seacole, for they can write and read.
Come hither, neighbor Seacole. God hath blessed you with a good name. To be a well-favored man is the gift of fortune, but to write and read comes by nature.
Both which, Master Constable?
You have, I knew would be your answer. Well, for your favor, sir, why give God thanks, and make no boast of it. And for your writing and reading, let that appear when there is no such need of vanity. You are thought here to be the most senseless and fit man to be the constable of the watch. Therefore, bear you the lantern. This is your charge. You are to comprehend all vagrom men. You are to bid any man stand in the prince's name.
If I will not stand.
Why then take no note of him. But let him go and presently call the rest of the watch together and thank God you're rid of a knave.
Oh, if he will not stand when he is bidden, then he is none of the prince's subjects.
True, and they're to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. You shall also make no noise in the streets, for the watch to babble and to talk is most tolerable and not to be endured.
Rather sleep than talk. We know it belongs to a watch.
Why, you speak like an ancient and most quiet watchman, for I did not see how sleeping should offend. Well, you are to call at all the alehouses, and bid those that are drunk get them to bed.
If not.
Leave them alone until they're sober. If they make you not, then the better answer, you may say that they're not the men you took them for. If you meet a thief, you may suspect him, by virtue of your office, to be no true man. And for such kind of men, the less you meddle or make with them, the more is for your honesty.
If we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
Truly, by your office you may, but I think they that touch pitch will be defiled. The most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let him show himself what he is and steal out of your company.
You've always been called merciful, partner.
Truly, I would not hang a dog by my will, much more any man who hath any honesty in him.
'Tis very true.
This is the end of the charge. Well, masters, good night. And there be any matter of weight chances, call up me. Keep your fellows' counsels and your own, and good night. Come, neighbor.
The masters, we hear our charge. Let's go sit upon the church bench till 2, then all to bed.
Is our whole assembly appeared? Here.
Oh, a stolen pigeon for the sexton.
Which be the malefactors?
Mary, that am I and my partner.
Nay, that's certain. We have the exhibition to examine.
But which are the offenders that are to be examined? Let them come before Master Constable.
Yea, Mary, let them come before me. What is your name, friend?
Horatio.
Pray, write down Horatio. Yours, Sarah.
I am a gentleman, sir, and my name is Conrad.
Write down Master Gentleman Conrad. Masters, do you serve God?
Yea, sir.
We hope.
Write down that they hope they serve God. Masters, it is proved already that you are little better than false knaves, and it will go near to be thought so shortly. How answer you for yourselves?
Mary, sir, we say we are none.
Come you hither, Sarah. The word in your ear. It is thought you are false knaves.
Well, I say to you, sir, we are none.
Stand aside. My God, they're both in a tale. Have you written down that they're none?
Master Constable, you go not the way to examine. You must call forth the watch that are their accusers.
Yea, Mary, that is the eftest way. Let the watch come forth. Masters, I charge thee in the prince's name, accuse these men.
This man said that Don John, the prince's brother, was a villain.
Write down Prince John a villain. Why, this is flat perjury to call the prince's brother villain.
Master Constable.
I pray thee, fellow, peace. I do not like thy look, I promise thee.
What heard you him say else?
Mary, that he had received 1,000 ducats of Don John for accusing the lady hero wrongfully.
What burglary as ever was committed?
Yea, by mass that it is.
What else, fellow?
And that Count Claudio did mean upon his words to disgrace Hero before the whole assembly and not marry her.
Oh, villain, thou shalt be condemned into everlasting redemption for this.
This is all.
And this is more, masters, than you can deny. Prince John was this morning secretly stolen away. Hero was in this manner accused, in this very manner refused, and upon the grief of this suddenly died. Master Constable, have these men be bound and brought to Leonato's. I will go before and show him of their examination.
Come, let them be opinioned.
Away! You are an ass. You are an ass.
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? Oh, that she were here to write me down an ass. But masters, remember that I am an ass, though it be not written down. Forget not that I'm an ass. Ugh. I'm a wise fellow. And which is more an officer, and which is more a householder, and one that knows the law, go to, and a rich fellow.
Well,
Enough, go to. And one that hath had losses, and one who hath 2 gowns and everything rich about him. Bring him away! Oh, that I had been writ down an ass. Ugh.